Woo-wee! Hey, it is time to get it on and popping. This is Run That Back with sports, music, and culture meet. Oh man, and it is a lot to talk about. Prayers up for Tiger Woods. Whew. Black History Month is in effect, and
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook teams up with the History Channel. Are you ready for this one, Deja?
Not sure.
We have someone that from the Wizards that deserved to be an all-star, and Deja shows you she got hands. Oh, baby, you know what time it is. Run it. Yes, it is. Run That Back with Aladdin and Deja Perez. And man, devastating news that Tiger Woods in a crazy car accident.
Yeah, so it happened in LA, and he was riding in a Genesis like GX 480 or something. It's an SUV. It's their like luxury SUV. Evidently, he was going at a relatively fast speed, and he lost control of the vehicle, and it rolled.
Yeah.
And they actually had to use the jaws of life. The firefighters had to use the jaws of life to get him out, and through the windshield of all things. And when they got him out, he had multiple leg injuries, which, you know, he's clearly an athlete, which is, I mean, it'd be a problem for anyone, but it's most certainly a problem for him, especially since he had been recovering from, I think, his 5th back surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So prayer hands definitely in the air for him, because that's pretty scary.
Yeah, it is. And he was just the day before, he was out with Dwayne Wade.
And Jada Pinkett Smith. Actually, he was on the golf course with Jada Pinkett Smith the day before.
Wow. Hold on. Watch this.
So I told you I was about to do something amazing today, and I got an opportunity. I say the GOAT, he's not comfortable with it, but that opportunity to come out here with this guy right here, man. Tiger, thank you for teaching me something. How good am I, or how bad am I?
Good.
I'm not good. I'm sorry for using that.
We're getting better.
We're getting better.
We're getting better.
So everybody be on the lookout. I got some lessons today from what I think is the GOAT, but Tiger Woods, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Wow. Hey, yo. And
he was such good spirits.
I know, man. And I guess for me, it was kind of scary when I heard the news, right? Because, you know, just watching the documentary and knowing that, you know, you saw that he'd been previously on pain medications and tried to drive. So that was my first thought.
Me too.
You know, I was like, oh, I pray that wasn't the case. But
you know, it's funny. One of my girlfriends hit me and she was like, who's even letting him drive at this point? And I'm like, I know, I get it. But I pray that there was nothing like, you know, because he underwent rehab and things like that the last time. So I really hope he was able to manage his addictions and things like that. And that this was just a freak accident that had nothing to do with anything else. You know what I mean? We can hope.
Yeah, so prayers up for Tiger, man. But
absolutely.
Hey, someone is shifting gears. Someone that stays doing big things. Uncle Snoop, Super Snoop. I don't even know what to call him.
Stacking Snoop. Stacking Snoop. That's what we're gonna call him.
Yes, okay.
Stacking. Opportunities, bags. That's what Snoop does. So a while back, he released his own gin flavor, like gin brand, if you will.
Right.
Lots
Indigo
going on.
Gin.
Indigo gin, yes. And he recently came up with a new recipe, I believe. It's like strawberry infused. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good.
Hey man, listen. I think at this point, Snoop can probably sell you your own shirt.
That's you're presently wearing.
Hey, it's crazy. I mean, just any type of endeavor, you see Snoop jumping into it. Like we said, his agent before he even.
Hey Snoop,
I'll take it. Mine. Let's do it.
Facts.
Man. Well, you know, someone that had to call Snoop to kick off the season, prime time. You know, we've been talking about him making his debut, him going back to HBCU. You know, and man, this is how he decided he had to get ready for the game. How cool is that? The FaceTime Snoop before the game, just to let him know, like, yo, this is how we getting ready for the game today. And man, I gotta say that him going back is definitely doing exactly what Prime intended to do, as far as get exposure
Right,
to
for
these
HBCUs.
HBCUs. He even had a surprise before the game. Run it. I mean, how crazy is that? I'm Troy Aikman, the Hall of Famer, to come to
An
Jackson State.
HBCU?
We know that would have never happened.
Ever.
I mean, his former coach from Dallas. I mean, the exposure that Jackson State is getting already. And
Right.
they did what they were supposed to do. They won the game 53-0.
That is how you do it when Coach Prime is the coach. And he, of course, got his little Gatorade bath. But sidebar, after the game, it was so, they had the press conferences, whatever. And Coach Prime was pissed because somebody went in his office and stole his stuff. And now actually the person was apprehended. I believe it was a female, but this is now the second time that he's been relieved of his personal property while at Jackson State. So I think it was like a month or two ago. Maybe I've got the timeline wrong, but somebody broke in his car and stole something. I thought it was a boombox, but I feel like
might have been, wasn't it a computer?
It was something, right? But when it was like put out there and people were like, Coach Prime's, stuff was broken into, mysteriously the stolen object reappeared. Like when they realized like, ooh, I don't want to mess with Prime, you know what I mean? But it's foul. It's foul because it was such a great moment to be like dampened by this shenanigans. Unacceptable. But I'm so here for Coach Prime, so here for Jackson State. I think it's huge. And this is just the beginning of what's going to be an amazing season.
Can't wait to see what's next.
Absolutely.
Well, it is Black History Month. Mm-hmm. So can we do some random sports Black History facts that you made?
I would like that.
All right. Let's start off with JaVale McGee, former Wizard.
Okay.
Not only is he an NBA champion, but he has also invested in some vegan companies, done some things with Justin Bieber. Who knew that he produced music?
And got nominated for a whole Grammy.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I love to see the guys are like really stepping outside of, their just sports and just being more into different business ventures.
I feel like this is the beginning of a new era, right? You've got Victor Oladipo. And you've got, LeBron, and you've got a bunch of these guys like really kind of venturing out, and I'm really here for it.
Well, who else is doing something for not just Black History Month, but just Black History facts, period. Yo, Wizards, Russell Westbrook. He will be doing a documentary teamed up with the History Channel.
Of all people, right? First of all, can we shout out Russell Westbrook right quick?
First
and foremost.
Absolutely.
So the documentary is going to be called Tulsa Burning, the 1921 Race Massacre. It's going to air this spring. And for those of you that are not familiar with the Tulsa Race Massacre, I mean, it is an epic part of history, and it needs to be, I feel like it's like the roots that hasn't been seen. You know what I mean? It's that historic. And I think that once people watch it, and I'm so glad that he's bringing awareness to it, because there are so many people that aren't familiar with it, and it will explain a lot. And I think it'll help explain some people's apprehension to change and Black Wall Street. And it's a lot, It's a lot going on there that I think people don't know, and they really need to know. And like, it couldn't come at a better time.
No, facts. And I want to read this quote that he made. He said, "The Tulsa Race Massacre was not something I was taught in school. It was only after spending 11 years in Oklahoma that I learned of this heartbreaking event." So I mean, big kudos to him. I can't wait to see it. And it's actually set to air on the 100th anniversary of
Oh, okay.
we'll definitely have to be on the lookout for that. But
and I'm with him because honestly, I learned about it a few years ago myself. You know what I mean? It's definitely not something that they talk about in school. They just act like it's whitewashed and it never happened. And it was a whole massacre and it affects us as a Black culture. So absolutely, we need to talk about it.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of wizards, congratulations going out to Bradley Beal, who has been named NBA All-Star starter. Yes. More than well-deserved.
More than well-deserved. And he's in good company, right? So you've got Kyrie Irving, Giannis, and Joel Embiid, along with Kevin Durant as captain for the East Side. And then for the West Side, you've got Steph Curry, Luka, Kawhi Leonard, Nikola, and LeBron as captain of the West Side as well.
Okay.
And super random. What?
Did our guy make it?
Our guy did not.
With the beard not being
James Harden
did
not make it.
He'll be there.
I think
he gonna be there breaking his rule. You know, he got his Harden rule this year. He gonna be in Atlanta.
So interesting because it was just announced. Gladys Knight and Alessia Cara are set to perform at the NBA All-Star, which is super freaking random, especially fresh off the Super Bowl, right? Because you had her, you had Jasmine Sullivan, you had The Weeknd, you had all of this like crazy talent, and then you have Gladys Knight and Alessia Cara at the NBA All-Star, which, by the way, the mayor of Atlanta is like, we full. We ain't got no room.
We ain't got no. Maybe that's why they got this. Maybe she said the halftime show up because she was like,
"You might be onto something." Facts.
Maybe this might deter some of y'all from coming. I don't know.
Period.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, we know LeBron spoke out and said that he's not for the NBA All-Star, but I guess he'll be there.
I guess
maybe. We'll see. Well,
that might make for a very. I guess they got alternates. I don't know what they're going to do when people don't show up.
Well, we'll see what happens with that one. Congratulations going out to Patrick Mahomes and his wife Brittany. They brought a beautiful baby girl to the world. Patrick put this on his Instagram page. Her name is Sterling Sky Mahomes.
You see that Mama's wearing Sterling around her neck. Please be clear. That wasn't like on accident.
Not at all. Nah, congrats to them. And then you say Snoop also had his 5th grandchild?
His 5th grandbaby. Yes, him and wife Shantae were posting photos of their newest addition to the family, which is super cute.
Nah, that's amazing. So, you know, they're doing this docu-series on Inside the NBA. Have you heard about it?
A little, but it sounds fascinating. Tell me more.
So, all right. So they're doing this docuseries. It's set to come out in March. The cast has been together for over 30 years. And it's one of the most highest rated TV shows ever in history. So they're going in and they're talking about the backstory and how connected these guys really are on the set and off the set. They shared a little preview of what we can expect, and I want you to check this out. Run it.
I don't have an older brother, but if I did have an older brother, I would want him to be like Charles Barkley. I was always envious of Charles because he got all the calls. So the day he hit me with the ball, I was like, good, now I'm about to knock him out.
Oh, there's a swing by O'Neal, and they get a blue on the field.
So we get into our little scuffle. As soon as I get to the thing, Jerome hands me the phone. And I hear this lady's voice I never heard before. You better not put your hands on my baby. And I'm like, who is this? It's Mama Barkley. And I was like, hello? She's like, yeah, I'm on the phone with your mama. And his mom, my mom was on three-way. She said, don't you know we've been best friends for about 20, 30 years? Now you go after the game, you go give me her. Y'all don't need to be fighting on TV like that. So that's how me and him became cool. So now, like, when people ask us, oh, are you in charge? You really serious? I always tell us that the answer is no. Because one time I came in, his mom and my mom and Martha playing spades. Oh, same thing. Back with, you don't know how to play no spades.
I love it.
It's amazing. I mean, and the chemistry they have is you can't pay for that. You know,
it's genuine.
Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, and Charles, man, they've been doing it 30 plus years.
That's crazy. That's a long time.
That really is. And still one of the highest rated TV shows ever.
I think what adds to it is its authenticity because
Yeah.
it's, like they bring their emotion, they bring their feelings, they sometimes get mad at each other, then they get over it. Like they're like real live people
They're brothers. Like,
in real life.
I think it's amazing too because they don't have to write scripts. They just get up there and do what they do.
Right. And it's just natural and it works.
It does. It does. You know what else works?
What's that?
Deja in them hands. Woo! Yo, so big shout out to our guy, Coach T.
Yes.
He has a boxing camp. He does boxing training. He's a boxing coach by the name of Hard Training Club here in Washington, D.C. And Deja and I are both big fans of boxing. And Deja wanted to go ahead.
Let me tell you how this really started, right? So the other week, and I've always been a boxing fan, right? I've told you that forever. But the other week, me and Al were at work in our respective studios, right? And Creed was playing on TV, and I was watching it. And there's a part where Michael B. Jordan is first starting to get with Rocky, and he's, throwing punches, and the guy's got the mitts, and Michael B. Jordan's character's like, I mean, you're not even doing the mitts with me, woo woo woo. And Rocky's like, I can't do that anymore. I'm old. I can't. There's certain stuff I can't do no more. And I was like, oh. I want to do the mitts. And out of nowhere, Al comes over in the studio and I'm like, Al, I want to learn how to do the mitts. Like, that's a real thing.
She's like, I want to know. Boop, 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 boop.
Literally, that's how I did it. And he was like, bet, let me call Coach T. And that's what happened. And last Friday, Coach T kicked my entire hind parts up and down the street.
But look, Deja got them hands. You don't believe me? Win it.
1, 2, 1, 2. Little quicker, go. Little quicker, go. Go.
That was at the end. You see, my face is red. He worked the living bejesus out of me.
Absolutely.
I worked my ass off.
You did. But what'd you think, though? I mean, did it make your appreciation for boxing that much bigger?
So I barely lasted 90 seconds. I can't even imagine. Like, I will get to the point where, because I told Coach I want to learn how to box for real, and so it's funny because
not even that, just that. But you want to be southpaw too.
I want to be southpaw, right? So I literally, when Al called him, right, I was like, Coach T, I want you to teach me the mitts, and I want you to make me southpaw. And he's like, are you left-handed? And I said, no, of course not. I'm right-handed. That's why I want to be southpaw. Like, duh. So I'm already at the end of class, right? Al wants to do some one-on-one, punching with the mitts and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'll hold the mitts because I'm thinking, I did boxing class for 5 minutes. I'm ready. And so Coach T is like, we gonna crawl before we walk, little girl. Like,
right.
you sit, it's okay. But no, it was amazing. I mean, I pray that we continue to do it because Coach T is very patient. He's amazing. And he's teaching me. Like, I just thought it was like boom, 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 right? It's not just boom,
it's
boom, boom.
so much more technical.
It's your feet, and it's funny because when we were doing the mitts, right? Coach would be like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, whatever the hell numbers he was calling, right? Like, he kept telling me to breathe throughout it, but I'm trying to, like, I've got my thinking face on. I'm like,
which one am I supposed to throw?
And then I'm like, crap, do I twist my leg? It was a whole, he was like, breathe. And I was like, I can't breathe, think, figure out which number you want me to hit, move my body, turn my feet. I can't do all that at the same time. So we are a work in progress, but it's going to happen.
Absolutely, man. And shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to all our professional fighters because
newfound respect.
Oh my goodness. It's a whole nother level, but you can follow him at Hard Training Club on Instagram, all social media, you name it. He's there, Coach_T. Check him out, man. Great coach.
_T_boxing.
That part. See? I love you. You're the best. We'll see y'all next week. Until then, you know what time it is. Run it!